Hi to all again. Nice to hear it today. The point of our webinar is it's an introductory webinar for Iridium server. Today I'll let you know how to use Iridium server in your automation project, why you may need to use Iridium server, how to set up it, how to license it, where to install Iridium server, and how to create the basic projects. We plan to make an advanced webinar for the guys who know JavaScript and who are able to create difficult projects using the Radium server, but it will be later. Today I'll show you the things that can be made by any user that want to install and use a Radium server solution. Okay, so the context of our webinar is how to use Iridium server and how it works, how to choose the hardware platform for Iridium server, how to license the server, and how to create a basic project. And we start from the information about server solution, where and how to use it. Iridium server as the main server solutions for automation projects is responsible for storing and processing the big data on Iridium server. You may know Iridium are able to store the database in MySQLite format on the Iridium server and give you an access to this data from control panels. Server can store the logics, scenes, schedulers, and such things that have to work 24/7. It is not possible to make a good and powerful logic on control panel because control panel is a real-time remote panel that cannot process the long time and difficult processes. You can also create trends and charts on your control panels using the Readym server. To create a trend, you have to data about some variables for some time from one date to another. With this data from database, you are able to create a trend in the visual interface. So Iridium server stores this data and Iridium client, i3 Pro app, shows these trends and pie charts and bar charts in the application. And the other important function of Iridium server is creating of gateway between different automation systems. You may know that Iridium supports more than 20 automation systems, and this number of systems is growing up every day, so you will be able to send the data from KNX to Modbus, from AMX to Crestron, from HDL to CoolMaster equipment, and it will work fine, and it is easy to set up such transferring of data. So let's start from storing and processing the data. In the visual project, you may control your engineering system, audio video equipment, and so on, but all of this data can be stored on Iridium server in the single database. You can process this data, you can make some analysis of this data and create some logic of work with your automation system. Important processes and long-time processes have to be stored on the Iridium server to make it stable and to guarantee that these processes will be finished as it should. In visualization app, you can show only the result of working with your automation system. All the processes like scheduling, like long-time scenarios can be made on the Iridium server solution. The latest information and fast communication with your equipment can be provided by Iridium server also. When you are working with equipment directly from control panel, each control panel requires the status of variables of your equipment directly. It means equipment is overloaded by some data from control panel's requests and communication processes, but the Iridium server decreases this overloading, and all the control panels have the same information about status of your equipment. You can also use Iridium server as a storage of internal variables from your control panels. If you need to share some data between control panels, Sometimes you can do it through the variables of your equipment, but not all the controllers, not all the automation systems provide you a possibility to work their logic schemes to store the data, to share the data from one control panel to another. But you can use the Radium server and synchronize the data between control panels, between control panel and server, between control panel and your equipment. You can also use iRidium server and another one iRidium server to make a failover functionality. If one iRidium server fails, iRidium clients are able to automatically connect to the freezed to the standby iRidium server and continue the work without any limits. But you can also connect to equipment directly. Some data can go through iRidium server, some data can go to your equipment directly. It will work the same as before without an iRidium server. So if you don't want to change some drivers, some JavaScript you have made in the previous version of iRidium, you can make it work as it worked before, but add in new functions, add in new possibilities using server solution. You can also show the history data, as I said, in iRidium client app. On this image, you can see how the historical data could be displayed on your control panel. It could be any data you want. Here you see the temperature and humidity, noise, CO2, pressure data, but on the same graphic you can show 10 or more information trends to display some processes. As I said, we have pie charts and bar charts in iRidium now, but you can have a difficulty of using these charts because it can be controlled only by the JavaScript. If you don't know the JavaScript, it will not be easy to make it work. But I want to show you anyway how these charts may look in your automation project. It looks really nice, so I think it could have a sense to spend the time for this stuff. Emulate is starting in 3.0 and we see how the chart can be displayed in your automation project. And the bar charts. You can notice that such charts could be made in iRidium 2 version without any problems using the simple levels, but if you see this, all the charts connected with each other, and this is how it looks like in application. The possibility of storing the data, the possibility of making a long-time processes of iRidium server makes you able to show the result of working with your automation system on any device. It could be not really powerful device to display the data. It is not needed to show the result of working. But without server, if you need to do something that uses more resources of operation systems that you have to use the most powerful devices on the market for iRidium client application. But with iRidium server, you can use just a simple tablets, just a simple smartphones and PCs. Okay, as a result, oh, I see the word Russian, sorry. As a result, we have a visualization as a i3 Pro app. In the visualization, you have to make a graphical solution, beautiful graphical interfaces, and no logics. Visualization in 3.0 can be used only to send the simple commands and display the results of working of your automation system. And Radium server could be used to collecting, storing, and processing the data from all the automation systems that you have in your home, office, and so on. Okay, where it can be used in your real project, you have in iRidium 2 without server. We had some problems, some issues with the different automation systems that we want to solve. I made some popular examples of such issues related with the specifics of automation projects, and first of these examples is a KNX NetAP protocol specifics. You may know that if you are sending to the KNX bus more than 100 or 200 requests for reading the status of KNX installations, you may receive not all the statuses in your application, in your visual project. For your customer, it looks like some lights on, but some lights is not on, but I know it is on. I don't have a real status of these addresses, and it's annoying me as a customer. It cannot be solved using the application resources, using the Radium resources, because the KNX bus sometimes just do not answer to the requests. To solve this problem, you may know the Bus hardware solution. It's an object server that stores the data about the state of group addresses before sent to applications, sent to external clients. iRidium server makes the same function. iRidium server stores the data about KNX, about all the data that KNX resent to Ethernet, and the client app receives this data directly from the server without an additional request to the bus. So you always have a real status of KNX bus without an additional requests. But when you start the server, it could take a few minutes to make all the statuses actual. That's how it may work with KNX equipment. The next example is actual for TTL Modbus and some other systems that send in requests to get some status of equipment. For example, in HDL, you have to send a read request to receive the status of closure contact, of temperature sensor, or something else. And if you have really many equipment in your house, if you have really many control panels, the number of such requests grows up really fast, and it is possible that the bus will be overloaded by these requests. It is not good, and we have to minimize the number of such requests. But if you have several separated control panels like it was before iRidium 3, you are not able to minimize the number of these requests. With the Modbus, it is the same. Modbus protocol works by the periodical requests of statuses on controller. You have to request the statuses all the time, each second. And if you have one panel, the request will be sent each second. If you have two control panels, the request will be sent twice a second, and so on. It is not really good for controllers. It is overloading the controllers, the bus. And with iRidium server, you can make just a single connection between control system and automation system. you don't have too many requests and you really know the current status of your equipment. That was not possible in the previous version of Radium and with an external automation systems, as we know. The next sample is about audio and video equipment. If you ever tried to use a multi-room system or control of audio and video system, you may be faced with a problem with a number of simultaneous connections that the equipment supports. The most part of amplifiers, adapters and other audio-video equipment supports from 1 to 4 simultaneous connections. It's a number of connected panels at a time. What does it mean? It means you are connecting the tablet to your audio-video system, but when you turn on the next panel, the previous one stops working. It is very bad. It is very bad if you have a big installation and you need to control the same system from the big number of control panels. Radium simply solves this problem by using our own communication protocol between iRidium server and iRidium clients. And then iRidium server resend all the commands, all the data to needed equipment, so it works stable and fast. And the next sample, the last sample, is working with scenes and logics of your project. If you want to make some schedule as it works 24/7, you are not able to use a control panel for it. Control panel stops working when you turn the tablet or smartphone off, so you are not able to create some long-time scenarios. Real-time system is not ready to do it. So you will be able to create all the scenarios on server and it will work there. So, how to choose iRidium server solution? You may hear that iRidium server is not a hardware, it is not some controller or PC with firmware. It's just a software solution that can be installed on the different hardware platforms. First of all, you can install iRidium server on your PC. Your PC can be based on Windows or Linux. It will work on the both operating systems. We recommend, for example, to use Intel NUC PCs that are compatible with Windows and Linux. We made some tests and Intel NUC is a really good solution for iRidium server. The next sample of the hardware platform for iRidium server is a Raspberry Pi. It's a mini PC that can be used for iRidium server also. We have also a special solution. It's a mini server on box by Global Cache company. It's a small device that can be hidden in any place and can be used in audio-video installations and some small installations like not a big flats. And the last one is embedded systems logic machine controllers. You can install iRidium server on logic machine as an addition. You will get the functionality of iRidium server with the other functions of logic machine. So if you have some logic machines on your automation objects, you can add iRidium server there without any problems. We made some synthetic tests in our office that should show you how to choose iRidium server for different sizes of installations. For example, Intel NUC based by Windows supports up to 2000 tags on the iRidium server. Tags means the number of feedbacks, number of data channels received from equipment and stored on server to share with control panels. It is only feedback, so it does not mean you have to count all the commands you want to send to equipment, all the feedbacks and so on. You have just count the number of data that will be received from your automation system, from your equipment, different controllers and systems. On our developer portal, dev.iridiummobile.net, you can see how to count the number of tags that will be needed in your station. The next part of table is the number of panels. It's the number of panels up to 50 that can be connected to the server at the same time. So with Intel NUC you can connect the server up to 50 panels and control more than 200 tags at the same time. With the Raspberry Pi you can use 800 tags and 15 panels. With Logic Machine it's about 500 tags and 10 panels. And with the Node on-box solution it's about 200 tags and 5 panels. Please note that it's just a synthetic tests, and maybe you will be able to use more tags and more panels with one server. The question from Peter: is it possible to install Radium server on Raspberry Pi with Windows EOT as OS? It is possible to install Radium server on Raspberry Pi with Raspbian operating system only. Maybe we'll share more framewares for Raspberry, but for the moment it is only for Raspbian. Okay, let's speak about licensing, how to choose the license, how to buy the license, and how it works with the real installations you have. First of all, I want to show you how it works. In the new Iridium version, all the commercial licenses have to be uploaded to Iridium server and Iridium control panels using Iridium Cloud. Iridium Cloud is a service that you can use only if you have an internet access. From Iridium Cloud you are able to upload visualization projects, configuration of Iridium server, and licenses for these devices. When the project and license uploaded, you can disconnect from internet and Iridium will work without any internet access and local web network. There is no limits in this. How to choose a license? There is two main questions you have to answer before choose a license. I'll show you the calculator on the website and we will answer on these questions together. The first question is, do you want to use a server? Here you can see the question, select object configuration. It means you have to choose if you use visualization only, visualization without server to connect to equipment. If you want to use the server project to make a gateway between different automation systems, you can choose the special license with the server-only solution. And if you want to use the visualization project, if you want to use a Iridium server for some functionality, you can use the third part of license. It's a visualization plus server. Please take a note that visualization only and visualization plus server solution has the same price. At the same time, it has the same price, for it is better to use visualization plus server to get the biggest functionalities possible for the same price. When you choose the configuration of the project, maybe visualization plus server, maybe just a gateway in function without visualization, you have to answer the question how many control panels you want to use in your project. If you choose server only, you don't need to count the control panels. I think it is clear. But if you want to use visualization, you have to count the control panels, your smartphones, tablets, and PCs that have to work with the visualization project. In this case, you can use one of 5 tariffs. Starter tariff supports one control panel, for example, your smartphone, and up to 50 server project or server tags. You can see in the info tab what does it mean, the server tag. The next tariff, basic for 5 control panels, advanced for 10 control panels, enterprise 25 control panels, and enterprise plus. Enterprise plus is not the same as the previous tariffs. It is limited by the number of visualization projects you are able to upload in the cloud. What does it mean? You can use this license on unlimited number of control panels, but the number of visualization projects should not be more than 10. For example, if you have a automation project for the big house with the same flats, or for example with the 5 type of flats, you are creating 5 visualization projects, uploading in the cloud, and share this project with any number of users. I think it is clear. And the number of server tags limited by 65,000, but the number of server projects, different server projects, should be not more than 10. You can know more about this type of license later, but the most popular licenses I think will be basic for 5 control panels and advanced for 10 control panels, for example. At the next step, we have to count the automation systems used in our projects. You have to count the number of different drivers used on server and in visualization projects. For example, if you want to control audio-video equipment and KNX installation, you have to set KNX and AVN custom systems, and then you'll be able to see the price for this license. If you want to use an additions, for example, IP cameras or SIP intercom in your project, you have to set the ticks for these additions. As a result, you will see the price for your license, you will be able to buy this license, and this license will be added to the My Licenses tab in Radium 3 version. Here you can see my licenses, my own licenses. I can use these licenses in my projects tab to make some objects work. Here you can see my projects tab on the Radium mobile website. It is important to know how it works. On this level you can see the folders. For example, John Doe has a country house, office and a flat, and you are developing projects, visualization project for all of these automation objects. Object is some projects, licenses and invited users for one automation project. For example, for one country house you have one visualization project, you have one server project. You want to control this object from up to 5 control panels, and you want to invite one user to control, to download and use the visualization project. All of this data you can see in the different tabs of the automation object in Radium Cloud. You can create a new object and show this object to your end user with help of special trial period. Get trial period. This button makes your customer able to use your automation projects for 2 months. After 2 months, your customer have to choose if he want to buy the license or not, or he want to prolong the trial period. If he want to test the project longer, if you didn't made all the needed functionality in 2 months, you can create one more object and invite the users again. But when it's ready, you can choose the license from the paid list, or you can create the license with the help of calculator as you see before. So how to choose the project or how to test the project if you don't pay the license yet? First of all, you as an integrator can test your automation projects for control panels and for servers using the iRidium transfer app. You can download from your PC to control panel the project using iRidium transfer, and you will be able to use the test mode of working with your equipment when you are using iRidium locally without iRidium Cloud. Test mode means that you will be able to work with control panel up to 20 minutes, up to 20 minutes. Then you should restart the app and work again for 20 minutes. It's a test mode for control panel. What about Readym server? For Readym server, the test mode works for 7 days. Then it drops all the databases and you have to upload the project again on server. But then it will work for 7 days again. It is for free. You don't need to get some license from the website as it was with the trial licenses before. You just have to authorize on control panel using your login and password from Readym mobile website, and the trial and the test period starts working. For the end user, you can use, as I said, trial license. Trial license for 60 days of continuous work. If you didn't choose any license, you cannot download the project from Readym Cloud. You have to use the transfer app. So now we know how to choose a license, how to add it in your cabinet, how to count the number of needed control panels and tags, and we can continue with our main questions about licenses that we are receiving all the time. The first question is an internet access required on the project? No, the internet access needed only to download the project and license from Readym Cloud. Then you can disconnect the panel from the internet and it will work locally without any limits. And the second question is it possible to update to the new version from Readym 2? Yes, it is possible. You can convert visualization project from the old version of Readym to the new one, and it will work, but the old licenses is not compatible with the new version. So what shall I do with an old licenses? If the license was not activated, activated means uploaded to the some control panel related with some HWID or serial number of controller, it means you cannot use this license anymore in 3.0 version. But if the license was not activated, you can change this license to the coupon for the new version, for the new licenses. Just send the request of changing of license. The time of this changing is limited, so please contact us if you want to change the licenses from the old version to the new one. How to deactivate the server on or i3 Pro? As you remember, in the old version we have a problem with deactivating of control panels. If you lost the control panels, if it is not working anymore, you had to go to iRidium mobile website and use some deactivation attempt. The deactivation attempts has been limited, but now with the Readym new licensing system, you have to log in to download project to activate license, and you have to log out to deactivate license. It is very simple. If you want to change your phone to another one, you just log in out from the device and you are able to use the same license on another device. No limits with it. And the new question, from Nicolas. So in i3, if we don't use the Radium server but we use the visualization project, the old script modules are working like before. Yes, the old script modules will work in Radium 3. We provide any additional script functions in the new version, but the old functions still working. Yes, I can show where to deactivate the licenses. I don't think it will be good to see it on my phone, but I can show you it first of all on the screenshot. Please visit our developing portal. Open the licensing tab. I'll switch to English. Please wait. Open the licensing tab and see the part purchase and activation. Here you can see some screenshots that shows how to open the project menu and how to log out from the device to stop using the license. I'll show you how it looks on Windows. You have to open the project menu. On the smartphones and tablets, you can open this menu with the swipe from left to right. On the Windows, you have to press F7 button. You will see the list of uploaded projects and Iridium Cloud. You can use it, but you can also see the System tab and Logout button here. When I press the Logout button, all the projects will be deleted from this application, from this client, and I will not be able to download any project before I log in again. It is the same for control panels. I have to log in to continue the work with emulator or any Iridium client. It is the same for Iridium server. I'll show you how it looks like. Paolo, if iPhone is broken, you have to kick the panel from Iridium mobile website from the list of used panels. I'll show you where it is. Users and panels. Attached servers, it is not. Unfortunately, I cannot show you how it looks when some control panels activated with the object, but you will see the same screen in the tab Users and Panels, and you will be able to delete this panel from this list and it makes you able to use the license on another device. Just press this button and the license will be freed. On the server, how it looks when you start the server for the first time. Let's see on it. It's a server on Windows. I press W button to open the web interface. It opens in the web browser. Too many web interfaces. I'm already logged in on server and you see the test mode on server is turned on. If the test mode is turned off, you will not be able to upload the project to the server from the transfer app. So you have to turn the test mode on when you logged in on server. But let's start from beginning. I'll deactivate server first and activate it again to show you how it should be done. Okay, I see the default web interface of Iridium server, and the first step is Iridium account logon. You have to add here your email and password from Iridium mobile website, and you log in, you are activating the server. When the server is activated, you see the step 2. You have to choose a system password for the fast access to Iridium server. By default, its password is 2007, but you can choose another one, for example, admin, or you can skip this step. Then you will see the third step. You will be able here to upload the project for Iridium server from Iridium Cloud. You saw the objects office and country house in my cloud, and you saw the downloaded project there. And now I pressed to one of the server projects, and it has been downloaded from Iridium Cloud to Iridium server, and now this project works with the commercial license. You can see it in the left corner of Iridium server web interface. Every time when you download a project from Iridium Cloud, it uploads with trial mode. It's about 60 days. Or it uploads with a commercial license if you bought the license before. Its web interface in the Radium server, you can see many settings, but the most important for your work with the Iridium Cloud is projects. Here you can download the project with a commercial license, or you can change the object related with your server. And in the deactivate server tab, you can log out from the server. Please take note that you have to be logged on Radium server with your integrators account, and not with an end user. It is your server, you are managing it, so you have to log in with your own account from Readymade mobile website. The new question, let me read it. Can I feed external IoT device data like power consumption collector into Readym server and then visualize data in panels? Yes, you can store any data on Readym server if you have a driver for this IoT device. I have a simple project for NetAtmo devices, NetAtmo temperature station. In this sample, Iridium server connecting to the cloud of NetAtmo device, downloading the data from this device, and then shares the data between the control panels and update this data. I can send you this sample later. The next step is project structure for Radium Studio. As you may know, all the projects for visualization panels and for Iridium servers have to be made in Iridium Studio application. It is opened now. I can create the new project for Iridium server. Please see the way to create Iridium server project. File, new server project. I can choose the name for this project and see the 3 tabs. Config is the main information about automation object, and the most important tab is input output. Here you can create communication between control panels and server with equipment. In the left part of the Studio interface, you can see Iridium Server tab. It's a space of the virtual variables of Iridium server. These variables you can use to store the data from one control panel to another and to store the data received from automation equipment in database and sent to another panels. In the right tab is a space, you can see the space for Iridium drivers. that communicate with the real equipment. For example, I added the KNX driver in the right tab of Radium Studio. Here I can set up the group addresses, the real group addresses of KNX, and these addresses will be displayed in the Radium Studio tab as a projection of real addresses of equipment to the virtual variables of a server. Iridium clients will ask for the status of KNX from these variables, from variables from the left tab. If you want to create your own variables is not related with the real equipment, you have to add it in virtual tab. You can create here channels and tags and make a special relations between the channels and tags. So let's see on image. The right part of Radium Studio is a part of connection to equipment. The left part of Radium Studio is a space of virtual variables. In the Virtual tab, you can set the data exchange between panels and in the server. When you see the projection of driver on the left tab of Radium Studio, you can see the information about equipment that is stored for control panels. In this tab, you can also set up the storage of data in the Radium database. For example, if I receive the information about unsigned 8-bit variable with some address, for example 102, I can store this data in database. I have to set up the storing in database in the left tab of Radium Studio application. You can see it here. And let's see the settings of storing in database. Storing database, yes or not, you can choose. Not storing in signed 32 bits format. Then you have to choose the saving strategy. It's a principle of storing the data in the database. The first principle is deadband. The second is an interval. Deadband means that the string in database will not be created if the value of variable was changed less than the number set in the deadband. For example, if the temperature was 21 degrees and I set deadband 3, the next string in the database will be created only if the temperature will increase or decrease more than 3 degrees of Celsius. It means it was 21, then 22, then 23, and when the temperature will be 24, you will see the information in database about this change. If you see the save strategy interval, the data will be stored in database each, for example, 5 seconds, each minute, or each hour. Or you can set the custom interval. When the data stored in database, you can display this data on the control panel using the easy way. We made some project for Radium Studio and we can create the panel project based on this server. I am pressing by the right mouse button on the server project and choosing Create Panel Project. I am creating new panel project. I'm creating new panel project and saving the previous server project. It was a new one, so I have to save it. And now you will see in the drivers tab of this project the list of variables created on Iridium server side. How it looks. If you made the virtual channels or driver channels in the Iridium server, you will see it in the same list on the side of Iridium client. It will be separated by the names. For example, you can see the driver name and the address name, or no driver name if it was a virtual variable. And you see it as a simple driver as any other driver that you see before in Iridium. And then, if you know that you stored some variable in the database, for example, I know that I stored the variable address1 from KNX to the database, and I would want to display it on the linear trend. What should I do? I am created the graphic item and I set it as a linear trend. Then I'm going to Iridium server driver, searching for address1 from KNX and dragging it to the linear trend, adding new curve. It's a new line on trend. And then by the double click I can set up all the properties of this trend. There is really many properties, different properties that can be set it up. We have samples that shows you how to set up these curves by different ways. And when you will be connected to the server, client will receive the data from server, from the database, and show you the trend. It is easy. Then we have to speak about a new function that is available in Radium server. It's a modifying functions that works using the script modifiers. Modifying function is a function that will be started when you receive some data from control panel or from equipment. If the value of virtual variable or the driver variable changes, the script modifier starts working. For example, you can receive 10 and plus add some string to this number and then send to equipment. For example, you can add the string value to the received number and then resend value plus number to some control panel or some equipment. On this sample we have this sample of using of script modifiers. You can see in our development portal here it is, server project. Data modification on the server. Here you can see how it works in details. You can say the modifying makes you able to use this functionality only if you know JavaScript. Yes, this is true, but we plan to implement the blocks editor that will make you able to do the same things without JavaScript programming. For example, shim editor makes you able to get some value from KNX channel. I'm searching for some KNX channel. Scale this data from, for example, from 0 to 125 range to 0 to 100 age range, and then write to another variable, for example, virtual variable of Radium Studio, or another KNX address. It is simple and you don't need to know JavaScript, but this functionality is not documented yet. It is under developing, so you can make some simple things with the JavaScript. If you are not able to do it, please contact us on forum or using iRidium mobile support portal. As I showed you, you can modify function. You will be able to modify functions using the blocks. And I want to let you know that all the logics, all the scheduling, and other things in the current version of Radium Studio, Radium server can be made only using the JavaScript. We have a ready-made project displaying some functions of scheduling and logics on our dev portal, on our forum. Please use it to make your own logics. Building trends. I have shown you that you are able to display the trends in the graphical interface, but please take a note that you are also able to see the trends in the web interface of Radium server. You can see the channels and feedbacks tab, and here you will see the values, the current values of all the variables added in Radium server. In the current server project, I don't see any variables, only just one of them. It's a small project, but you will be able to see the big list of projects and to see the graphics of changing of this data without Radium Client app. It is not an integrator's tool, it is not a customer's tool. It can't be used to control automation system by your customer, but it can be used by you to check how it works and to try to use all the functions without graphical interface. Okay, about charts, I have said that it can be set it up using the JavaScript, and we have a Readymade Project on forum. Please contact us if you have any questions about it. And thank you. We're finished with the main part of information about Radium server. And if you have any questions, please ask.